32 point something foot of boom, 31.6 foot radius, boom mode 1, picking up some heavy shit up close. Got to be really careful because as the boom deflects down, it extends the radius, which lowers the capacity, so I have to boom up, but the load is really close to the front of the crane, so I have to be careful exactly how much I boom up. I'm just going to take it easy. It's off the ground, it's floating, so I'm just going to boom up a little bit. Every foot around this radius gives a lot more. Up a smidge and start spinning. We're on some mats, so that's good, and the ground below me is pretty good. I don't have to worry about that. Now I just boomed up from what was that, like 32.5 foot radius to 31.1. That gave me 6,000 pounds of capacity. So that's what I did. So we're just going to take it easy. We're not going to swing too crazy. It's got a 360 degree capacity, but you know, over the sides you're not quite as strong as you are over the front or the rear for that matter. You have to keep in mind as well, when you're running an RT crane by OSHA standards, OSHA law, they have to be derated 15%. So what that means, if the crane says it's only got 10,000 pound capacity at that radius and configuration, it's really got 15% more, so you really have 11,500. That's just something you got to know. I'm not saying push it to 115%. I'm not saying I haven't done it before, but that's just one thing to consider if you ever have to make a lift that's kind of close, you know. Common sense applies. Obviously, if you're if the crane's old or something, or the ground's not great, or you probably don't want to take those chances, but at the end of the day, it's all on the risk that you want to take when you're lifting something super heavy. When I say super heavy, heavy for the crane, you know, this is 49,000 pounds. This is a 100-ton Tadano. That's pretty heavy for this crane, especially considering I got 2 parts of line. No, I'm just kidding. I've got 4 parts of line, so my max is like 58 something total line pull. But you know, just gotta do what you do. Booming up and holding the load, getting it nice and centered up on the trailer. Same thing with trailers. When you're talking about putting a load like this on a trailer, every inch matters. If you got it a couple inches off center, I mean, that could be bad, especially on a turn. Especially when you're considering the how much the load weighs. Just booming up and holding the load, just inching it ever so closer to me. There's a sweet spot I found in the RPM range on these as far as to get a really smooth spin. If you got something kind of heavy, that 1500 to 1700-ish range is really nice for being smooth. If you give it a whole lot more than that and you try and go smooth, especially if you're at a dead stop and you try and go just a little bit, it wants to get a little jerky off you know, from 0 to whatever miles an hour spinning. That's how you push a Tadano 1000XLL-4 to the absolute maximum.